Okay, we continue into non-vascular plants. Okay, non-vascular plant comprise more than 15,000 species of mosses, liverwoods, and hornwoods. They have several adaptations that green algae lack. For example, they have cuticle, they have stomata, and multicellular gametangia. Okay, compared to the algae, algae doesn't have cuticle, the lack of stomata, and the gamete is unicellular. No means for extensive internal transport of water. It means that non-vascular plant, they do not need xylem, okay, as an internal transportation to transport the water or dissolved sugar and essential nutrients, minerals. So these non-vascular plants, they only require moist environment for the active growth and for their reproduction. So there are three divisions or three phyla for non-vascular plant: Bryophyta, Hepaticophyta, and Anthocerophyta. This is the example, okay, of the bryophytes. Okay, this is a close-up of the first one is close-up of hair-cap moss from Polytrichum gametophytes. The hair-cap moss is a popular ground cover in rock gardens, particularly in Japan. Okay, this one is a Macanthia polymorpha. Okay, if you can see, the structure of the Macanthia is like a liver. Okay, like our liver lobes. Okay, so that is the liverwood. Okay, Macanthia belong to liverwood. Okay, this one, the C, the diagram C, the gametophyte with mature sporophyte. So this is the gametophyte. Okay, the bottom is the gametophyte. So from this group, the gametophyte is the dominant stage of the life cycle because the gametophyte will supply the food to the sporophyte. So this is the sporophyte. The sporophyte of this hornwood, okay, they form a horn structure. That's why this group we call or known as hornwood. Okay, hornwood, because of the horn structure. So the gametophyte is supply the food for the sporophyte. That's why for bryophyte, the gametophyte is the dominant life stage of this group. Mosses or phylum Bryophyta, the only plant with a dominant gametophyte generation. Okay, usually they live in a dense colonies. Okay, they form into groups or dense colonies, or also called beds. Each individual plant has a tiny hair-like absorptive structure that called rhizoid. So they have a structure underneath the gametophyte. That structure called rhizoid. Rhizoid is like a root-like structure, rhizoid. So this rhizoid is function to absorb all the water or moisture on the particular area. And they have also a stem-like structure. Stem-like means it is not a true stem, but it is a stem-like structure that looks like a leaf. Okay, looks like leaf-like blades. Okay, the green gametophyte always bears its gametangia at the top of the plant. So the gamete normally they form at the top of the plant. And many moths have separate sexes. Separate sexes means one plant have only one sex or one gamete. Okay, one plant, for example, one plant carry antheridia, the other plant is carry the female gamete. This is the life cycle of Polytrichum moss. Okay, if you can see, the blue one is the haploid generation, and the pink one is the diploid generation. Okay, we start from the number 1. The spores develop into a thread-like protonymata. Okay, so this is the protonymata. Okay, the haploid protonymata produce buds that grow into gametophytes. So these protonymata later will form into gametophytes. Okay, either the male gametophyte or female gametophyte. Okay, so this is the rhizoid. Okay, it's a root-like structure. Okay, most mosses have separate male and female gametophyte. Okay, so one plant will produce male gametophyte or the antheridia, meanwhile the other will form achigonia. So there is no mix up of these two gametophytes. So this antheridia, okay, they will release sperm. Okay, so the sperm have flagella so that the sperm can move. Okay, so with the help of water, of course, the sperm will move and look for the eggs inside the archegonium. So the structure of the eggs, the structure of the archegonium is a funnel-like structure to make sure that the sperm will fertilize the egg inside it. The egg is not motile. Okay, the egg is not motile, and the fertilization will happen inside the archegonium. So once the fertilization happen, okay, zygote form. Okay, zygote, you must remember it is a diploid generation, and the zygote will undergo mitosis to form a embryo. Okay, and the diploid zygote develop into sporophyte embryo within the archegonia. Okay, so this embryo, okay, they will form a long stalk, or that stalk we call as seta, that emerge from the archegonium. Okay, it will form a long stalk, okay, or calyptra. Okay, so later on we call this structure as a young sporophyte. It is not mature enough, but it is still young. Okay, and then this young sporophyte will form into mature sporophyte. Mature sporophyte consists of the sporangium itself. The sporangium is the spore sac. Okay, the sac that contains the spores we call sporangium, and it has seta and it has foot. So when it has sporangium, it has seta and foot, it is considered as mature sporophyte. When it is mature, it means that the plant is ready to release the spore. So in each sporangium, there is a spore, and this spore need to undergo meiosis to produce diploid spores. Okay, once the meiosis is done, the spores that have been undergo meiosis must be released. How to release the spore? Okay, how to release the spore? The sporangium outer layer, or we call as peristome. Okay, this peristome is a disc-like structure. Okay, this peristome will it will pops off. Okay, it will pops off, and when the peristome pop off, the spores will be released, and the spores will form into protonymata again, okay, through the cycle.